Uh, Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So last time I ended where Imam completed discussion on day one about human body parts and things. Now today I will begin with discussion Mufaddhal had with Imam on day two. He begins by praising Allah. All praise is due to him, who is the creator of revolution of ages, who brings one stage after another, one state after another, decades of time, to reward the righteous and to punish the evildoers. Because he is just, and his names are exalted. His blessings are magnificent, and he does not do the least injustice to his creatures. Rather, man does injustice to himself. Then Imam bent down his head for a while. Imam bent down his head for a while and said, O Mufaddhal, mankind is perplexed and bewildered, blind, infatuated in their perverseness, following their devils. यहाँ बहुत अच्छा कनेक्शन जो फर्स्ट डे जो इंसान के पूरे आज़ा और उनकी मखसूसियत बताने के बाद में अब ये कनेक्शन कितनी अच्छी तरीके से इमाम ने किया है. Imam says like, they have eyes but do not see, they have tongue but are dumb and do not understand, they have ears but do not hear, they are happy in their contemptible degradation, they presume that they are well guided, they feed on the vegetation of polluted, dirty people, they deem themselves safe from sudden visitation of death and retribution of deeds. Alas, how ill-fated are these people. ये सुनने के बाद में then this moved Hazrat Mufaddhal to tears, and Imam solaced him by saying he was saved because of having accepted the faith and the gnosis, which was granted, and he was granted salvation. Then next Imam explains about physical constitutions and the pattern of construction underlying the build of animals. Just consider the physical constitution and pattern of construction underlying the build of animals. They are not as hard as a stone, for had they been so, they could not have been able to perform actions. Nor are they soft, for in that case, they could not have stood up. Then Imam explains the ingenuity underlying such constitution. Imam says like, they are composed of such palleable muscles as bend and double up. They are supported by hard bones, which are gripped by the muscles and which are tied together by tendons with each other. Covering these bones and muscles is their skin, which extends over the whole body. Then Imam gives an excellent illustration of a doll, how the puppets or dolls are made. Imam says like the wooden doll with rags wound around them tied by strings and with a varnish of gum over the whole will illustrate the point. Then Imam compares that like, let the wood stands for the bone, the rag of muscles, the rags for muscles, the strings for tendons, and the varnish for the skin. Then Imam says like, now if you read the statement of Imam once again, that they are not as hard as a stone. जो animals के बारे में कुछ देर पहले मैंने इमाम का बताया था कि they are not as hard as a stone. For had they been so, they could not have been able to perform actions. Nor are they soft, for in that case, they could not have even stood up. And consider like if they are made of only bones, it would be hard to perform any action. If they would have been composed of only soft muscles, then it would be even difficult to stand. So the three different types of materials that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used, that is bones, muscles, and tendons, are used to give them right amount of flexibility and allow them to be functional. Then Imam says, like, if it is possible in the case of living and moving being to come into existence for themselves, it should be reasonably expected to happen in the case of these lifeless figures. And if it is impossible in the case of these toys, it is even more preposterous in the case of animals. कि भाई एक टॉय खुद ही से नहीं बन के आ जा सकता है, तो इंसान with all these आजा, with all these right composition of materials, how can that come into existence by itself? Then Imam says to look minutely to their bodies. They are composed of muscles, bones, like the human beings. They are endowed with eyes and ears so as to enable man to get work for them. They would not have served his purpose if they had been blind and deaf. So these animals got like all these organs which are required to serve humans, but they are deprived of the faculties of intellect and reason. Animals do not have like faculties of intellect and reason, so that they may remain subservient to man and should not disobey even when subjected to intolerably heavy labor and burden. तो अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला ने ये मखलूक जानवरों को खल्क किया ताकि वो सबसर्विएंट रहे, तो इसलिए इंटेलिजेंट और रीजन अता नहीं किया इन्हें ताकि वो ह्यूमंस के ऑलवेज सबसर्विएंट रहे. So I will end my presentation here. Inshallah, I will continue on animal kingdom, chapter of on animal kingdom next time.